Hi, I'm Penny, and I run a 50(c)(3) rescue for horses, and mostly we work with upper-level performance horses. I've been working with horses my entire life. I had a competitive background for about 30 years.
My name's Jessi Jo and I'm an equine trainer. I own Time to Shine Equine and I've been professionally training for about 10 years. I've ridden horses my whole life and been competitive in various disciplines. I got a phone call from Penny one day and she asked me to take in Katanga for training, and I of course said yes immediately, and we enjoyed using her. We used her for lessons. She was an extremely kind mare. She was literally the only horse in the barn out of 27 that we could put anybody on at any time and trust her to handle it.
She was born on my farm. She holds a very special place in my heart, and she suffered a traumatic brain injury that included an actual fractured skull, which is very unusual in horses.
Immediately after the accident, I had to call Penny, and that was like my worst nightmare coming true. I called her immediately and I told her what had happened, and I told her that the state Katanga was in, and it really was not looking good. The vet hadn't got there yet, but I did not see how this animal was going to make it. During the healing process, especially with a brain injury, it's really, really important to keep inflammation down. And the only thing that the vet had given me was Banamine. It didn't really seem like it was doing a lot. So my friend Ron Spencer came over, and he has been working on a CBD product for the last 2 years. And he gave me the oil, and I gave it to Katanga. This mare could not stand up on her own. We were holding her up with 4 people with lead ropes holding her up. The next day she was standing. The day after that, she was backing up in a left-hand circle. The day after that, she was walking forward. And the day after that, we loaded her up and we trusted her to haul to Penny's. When dropping off Katanga, we left her with a 10-day dose, and about 5 days after, there was huge progress, and then on day 10, that was really like the wow day. She was a totally different animal. The very next day, I got a phone call from Penny saying that she needed more because the mare started having seizures as soon as we pulled her off of the CBD.
I immediately got on the phone and said, we have to have more. She is having seizures constantly. She is spinning in her stall and falling down. I can no longer go in to do treatments on her. Her eye on the side that the brain or the skull fracture was swollen shut. We had to treat it every day. It's actually regained its sight, which is unheard of. So these are all outcomes that we would not have had, in my opinion, without that missing puzzle piece of the CBD. At the time, my greatest hope was that she would become comfortable enough to be a pasture ornament, and that she would be viable. And I doubted that as a possibility, and we've so far exceeded that it's just heartwarming, and it's kind of magical.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, look at the turn.
Katanga's progression has been consistently in the direction we want her to go, which is also kind of unheard of in my experience of rehabilitation, and I've done hundreds of horses. High performance horses that have been injured, horses that have been in trailer wrecks, major traumas. Generally you take 4 or 5 steps forward if you're having a good week with that horse, and then you have a few steps back. And one of the things I've observed with Katanga is it's been a continuous progression of improvement. Now she's walk, trot, canter out in the field. She has friends. She recognizes other horses. She's no longer afraid of being around other horses, which was one of the things that concerned me early on. So she's back. We're actually considering trying her under saddle again. The healing is that great. So we are very, very excited. I'm over the moon with her progress, and it hasn't been that long. The speed that the healing has taken place is unprecedented in my experience. I would so recommend people give it a try. It doesn't take that long. You're going to see results in no time at all, and you're going to be thrilled with the results. And I've used it now on 4 of my active rehabs in addition to Katanga, and the results have been profound. And if you're going to do one thing, if you have a limited budget and you can only afford one thing, do this. Do this before you do anything else and see what you get.